All right, we're gonna go ahead and put the turbo blanket on. So all you need to do to put it on is this wire. And how it goes on is you wrap the wire around here and then connect it to here, and then you do the same thing on this one. There's another one here and it goes to here, and it holds it everything closed. So the whole purpose of the turbo blanket is to keep the temperatures underneath the hood down. The exhaust side of the turbo gets extremely hot, so it just radiates heat and radiates heat, and it heat soaks the intake and the intercooler piping and everything under the hood. So all the heat control is a big part of longevity on the engine. So if you can keep the heat down as much as possible, that is a plus. You can also pretty much touch these after the car is hot and the turbo is hot. It does that much of a good job of keeping the heat all inside of here rather than letting it go out. So we're going to put this on. It's pretty straightforward to put on. The only problem is there's a little bit tight on this engine anyways, a little bit tight to get down in there. So let's get going. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is prep this thing. So this part here is on the engine side, so the engine would be right here, would be the engine. So there's not a lot of room to get back here and wrap this up. So what I'm gonna do is I went ahead and pre-cut 2 longer pieces of this wiring. And so what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and wrap this around like this a few times. It doesn't have to be a lot. There's not a ton of pressure on, or resistance on this. So then just clip that, and then what I'll do is I will run it to this side here, and then I will take my other wire and do the same thing, except I might just go the opposite way. No particular reason on that, just because I can. Okay, and then this one can go to this side, and we'll go ahead and cut this. Okay. There we go. All right, so now this one will wrap around to here, and this one will wrap around to here. All right, so this one will wrap around to here like this. And then this side, same thing, we'll wrap around to here, we'll loop it around, snip it, turbo blanket will be on. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is feed the wires down here. Kind of get them wrapped around the bottom. That one. All right, let's grab that. All right. Should have done this before all the piping and stuff was in, but I wasn't sure if I was going to have to get down in here and all that. Alright, so just going to get this wire. Alright, so now everything is kind of, for the most part, situated where we want it. So what I've done is I've pulled this tight down here, and then I've wrapped it around right here. So I'll do the same thing, and you can kind of see that, you know, I got to adjust it a little bit, but the turbo blanket will sit nice and flush and keep all the heat in. So I'll finish wrapping this thing up. Okay. Now we'll do the same thing to this side over here. Okay. Okay, so that's on, so now I can trim those. Trim this one here. Okay, so now the turbo blanket's on. Kind of making an adjustment here a little bit on it, but it's on. It's going to keep all that heat keep all that heat in. So, but yeah, not too bad. Just a couple wire, tiebacks, and that's it.